You ever find yourself sort of downplaying things? Or maybe not asking for what you really think you deserve?
Oh, definitely. It's that little voice, isn't it? That feeling of maybe not being quite valuable enough.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's exactly where we're headed today in this deep dive. We got a transcript here from Thewizardliz, the YouTube creator.
Right, the really energetic one.
That's her. And the video is called Understand How Valuable You Are. So our mission, basically, is to pull out the key stuff from that video.
And help you, the listener, see your own value in, like, all parts of life, work, relationships.
How you see yourself, all of it.
Absolutely. And what I like about this source is how direct it is. It's very no-nonsense, which is refreshing for this kind of topic.
It's not just thinking, oh, I'm valuable. It's like feeling it.
Exactly. Truly internalizing it. So yeah, we'll be digging into her main arguments and figuring out why they hit home for so many people.
Okay, so she kicks things off with this story, right? About her friend, an artist.
Yeah, the painter spent, 9 months on one piece?
9 months. Super detailed painting. And then when it's time to sell it, she asks for $11,000.
Which, sounds like a lot, but context is everything here.
Right, because Liz's reaction, the creator's reaction, was immediate. She saw it and was like, this is worth way more.
Yeah, she threw out numbers like 100,000, maybe even millions.
Which really just highlights that gap, doesn't it, between what something or someone is actually worth and what we ask for.
Or what we even believe we deserve. It's classic underselling.
Totally. And the friend's reason. She wanted people in her circle, her environment, to be able to afford it.
Which sounds considerate, but Liz's point was quite stark.
Super sharp.
Yeah.
She basically said, don't ever lower your value because of where you are. If the environment doesn't get it or can't afford it,
then you need to find a different environment. Change the surroundings, not the value.
It's such a powerful idea. Because underselling yourself, it kind of sends a message, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. It subtly tells people that maybe it isn't that valuable after all. Whereas confidence
changes the perception.
Right. There's a power in asserting your worth confidently.
And Liz even makes fun of herself a bit, talking about her own art, which she admits is, like, ugly.
Yeah.
But she had this, what she called delusional belief she could sell it for $100K.
It's funny, but it makes the point perfectly. That conviction, even if a little bit out there, it matters.
It's the starting block. If you don't believe it.
But how is anyone else going to? Exactly.
Yeah.
That internal stance shapes the external reality.
Okay, and this is where I thought it got really interesting. The video shifts a bit to this idea of influencing your environment.
Right, not just adapting or fitting in, but actively shaping it.
It ties back to the artist friend, but it goes broader, like how we approach everything.
Yeah, don't just accept things as they are, whether it's relationships or, the culture around you or your job.
Don't just settle because it's what's there.
Exactly. The video really pushes this idea of agency, that you personally can actually change things. You have that power.
Yeah, I love that image she used, walking into a room. And just by being there, you make the room more valuable.
It's a total reframe, isn't it? Recognizing that inherent worth you bring. Your skills, sure, but also just your perspective.
And that applies to what you create, too, like the painting. It has value because you put value into it.
Which leads nicely into the next bit about reclaiming your personal power.
Yeah, because let's face it, lots of things can chip away at that self-worth. Parents, teachers, maybe bad relationships.
Culture, society, the list goes on. But the core message is you can rebuild it. You have the power to believe in yourself again.
You got to come from inside, right? Like getting a compliment is nice, but it doesn't stick the same way.
Exactly. External validation feels good short term, but that deep, lasting shift, that's internal work. It's realizing your own worth.
And sometimes we forget the impact we have, even small things.
Totally. Like a kind word, helping someone out. It matters. And just, surviving life's challenges, that's huge. That shows resilience. That shows worth.
Absolutely. And the video stresses that your energy, your time, they're valuable. Not everyone just gets automatic access.
Oh, that's crucial. You get to choose. Be selective. Your resources are finite.
It's about boundaries, isn't it?
100%. Healthy boundaries. And recognizing that as you grow, maybe some connections don't fit anymore.
Even if they were important ones.
Yeah. Holding on to things or people that drain you. That just undermines everything we're talking about. You got to protect your energy, prioritize your well-being.
Okay, so then there's the whole thing about other people's opinions. Tuning out the noise.
Right. Liz talks about her own experience, with negative comments online.
And how she stayed solid. because she knew her own intentions, her own value.
Which is so important now with social media everywhere. If you rely on likes and comments for your self-worth,
You're basically a puppet, as she puts it.
yeah, you need that self-knowledge first. Before you even look for external approval, know yourself.
And it's interesting how she links this to how people treat you. That people often reflect back how you see yourself.
It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, kind of. If you act like you deserve respect, like your time is valuable.
People tend to treat you that way more often.
Definitely. She uses the example of women who expect to be treated well in relationships versus those who maybe don't feel they deserve it.
And how that internal belief changes the dynamic. It comes back to confidence
Yeah.
and setting those standards, those boundaries.
Which connects right into believing you deserve the good stuff, deserving what you desire.
Yeah, the video asks, like, why wouldn't you deserve good things? Life is hard enough.
Right. Why add this layer of I'm not worthy? And the fascinating point is that believing you deserve something
Is often half the battle in getting it.
sometimes even more important than just raw talent or grinding away. That mindset, that conviction, it fuels everything.
She uses those hypothetical examples, right?
Yeah.
Like deciding to be a YouTuber, then maybe a housewife, then an author.
Yeah, just illustrating that you can kind of create your reality based on what you believe you're capable of and what you believe you deserve.
Feeling entitled to pursue those different paths.
Which is tough when you deal with other people's projections.
Ah, yes. People putting their own doubts onto you.
Exactly. The video mentions her friends doubting her when she started out on social media.
Because maybe they couldn't imagine doing it or succeeding at it.
Right. So they project their limitations onto you, and you have to be strong enough in your own belief.
To not let that in.
Yeah.
To not let it shake you.
It's that crab bucket thing she mentions, people trying to pull you back down when you start rising.
You got to resist that pull. Stay focused on your own potential.
And remember that idea of being like an unlimited being, that there's more potential there than you or anyone else might realize.
Okay, this next one is huge. Letting go of the when I mentality.
Oh, yeah. When I lose weight, when I get the promotion, when I make X amount of money.
Then I'll finally be happy.
Right. And the video basically says that's a trap. Happiness isn't waiting at some future destination.
You have to find it now.
Ah.
Cultivate it in the present.
Otherwise, you reach that goal, and what then? If you haven't found that inner peace along the way, the achievement itself feels hollow.
It's disappointing, actually.
Totally. Life isn't just crossing finish lines. It's the whole messy, ongoing process of learning and growing.
And that ties into appreciating yourself during that process. Self-love, self-appreciation.
Yeah, the video asks a great question. When was the last time you actually stopped and, acknowledged your own effort?
Give yourself some credit.
Yeah.
Instead of just pushing on like a robot.
Exactly, treating yourself like a machine. And the point is, how can you expect others to appreciate you if you don't even appreciate yourself?
You set the standard.
You do. So self-compassion, recognizing your own strength, your resilience. That's key.
And finally, it wraps up with resilience. Bouncing back.
That ability to recover from setbacks, having that hustler mentality, that proactive drive.
She shares that quote, right? About being stripped of everything.
Yeah, but still having the confidence that you could get it all back again.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
It's about knowing deep down that you can handle things, that you can figure it out.
That inner strength and resourcefulness, knowing you can get back up and keep going after what you want.
So really the big takeaway, wrapping this all up, your value isn't up for debate. It's not granted by others.
Nope. It's inherent. It's just there.
And the work is, first, finding places and people that actually see that value.
But even more importantly, really, truly believing it yourself. Nurturing that belief from the inside.
So maybe something to think about as you go on with your day. Is there one area, just one, where you might be selling yourself a bit short?
Yeah, where you're not fully owning your value.
And what's maybe one tiny thing you could do or think differently today? Just a small shift to start recognizing how incredibly valuable you actually are.